Welcome to Gamersledge Podcast, the weekly podcast about video games with news, reviews, analysis, and opinion. Keeping you up to date on how to wisely spend your money for video games, movies, RPGs, comics, books, and more for over 16 years. Find us online at Gamersledge.com. And now, your hosts.
Hello and welcome to Gamersledge. Come on in, sit down, relax, pull up a chair, and of course, have a water bottle full of Everclear. Everclear, the only way to make your friends blind in under 30 minutes or less. Guaranteed. Joining us this week, our full panel, starting all the way at my far left with, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Eddie Munster himself, Turo. And also joining us, next to him, the man with the blue ears, Dave.
Yo.
And joining us from the Great White North, it's Kate.
I guess I look more like Lurch, but that's not the monsters.
Oh, jeez.
And then joining us from the other Great White North, it's Matt.
Howdy.
And last but not least, rounding out our panel this week, it is the person from 20 miles from the other Great White North. It is Nick.
Hello.
So we have a ton to talk about. 2 cons happening over this last week. The first one being GenCon 2015, which we'll recap in a little bit. The second one, of course, being GamesCom in Germany right now. But before we get to all that, let's go around the room, see what people have been up to in terms of video games for the last week. Turo, let's start with you.
Batman. And I guess I'm going to play some Rare Replay tonight. Thanks.
And that's it?
That's it.
Well, that makes it easy.
I've been working my butt off. It is the tourist time of death, so yeah.
All right.
You don't phrase it to them that way, I hope.
Well, some people, they like that, and others are like, "Rrr?" But you don't get money from that, so I don't say it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, most of them can't hear you anyways.
No, and yeah, they'll ask where the bathroom is at least 5 or 6 times after I've already told them 5 or 6 times. Anyway, yes, that's all I've played.
So, joining us for the first time in what seems like months, it's Dave. What have you been up to?
We've been up to playing that Tamagotchi game, that real life Tamagotchi game.
The one where it really poops?
Yeah.
And it costs a whole lot more money.
And then it goes through a growth spurt and starts like screaming uncontrollably for no reason.
Is it? That doesn't sound too bad.
No, that's not. That would be nice.
Although I get a kick out of his scream, like especially when he goes like really nuts about it, he gets like really just raspy and stuff. It's still kind of in the cute phase. So, but it's just like, dude, what's going on?
It won't be cute for long.
No, it wasn't cute today, but but he's still awesome. It's just tiring. The Jetpack Joyride, I'm still playing that. That's the 5 minutes of gaming I get in is usually that.
I forgot Clash of Clans. I forgot mobile gaming too. My bad.
Angry Birds too.
I played some.
Good game.
Is it fun? Is it a freemium game, kind of?
Yeah.
Allegedly. I've never paid for anything in it, and I've been able to get through stuff. It does the, you lose lives. They do one thing that's kind of neat, at least on the Android version. I don't know if the iOS version is the same thing. But if you, run out of lives, you can, press a button and it'll play, a 30-second video, commercial, and then you get a life back or you get a bird back or something like that. So, I mean, they do kind of innovative stuff that way, which is just okay, I can take a break, So that works out all right. I read Armada.
Yes.
Which
we don't have a book podcast, so we can cover that here.
Exactly, and it's basically about gaming anyway, so I'm going to count it. It's the second book from Klein. What's the first name?
It's not Calvin or Kevin, but I would do that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't remember his.
Hold
first
on,
name.
I got it. It's right here.
Yeah. What's that? I'm trying to draw a blank.
Ernest.
Oh,
Ernest.
I was gonna say
Thank you.
Eugene, but yeah, Ernest.
Yeah.
That works.
It's his second book. It's his follow-up to Ready Player One. Overall, Ready Player One's a much better book.
Much
Much better. Did you finish it?
I did.
Yeah. It's do you kind of agree that it's like the complaints that people tried to make about Ready Player One are actually valid for this book?
Yes, 100,000%.
Yeah, like
But the thing about it is that I still like every author has kind of a voice and how they tell a story. I still like his voice, and I know that he's going to have a long and successful career. But man, he does. And one of the big detractors is that he relies, or detraction arguments is that he relies heavily on padding the book length with all this nostalgia that he puts in there.
Right.
And in this book, it is like super apparent.
Yeah, it's really
in the first book. I don't think it's as bad. I see where
not
people
as
are
bad.
coming from, but this one, it's like he's like, oh, so you guys want me to pad it out? I'm gonna pad it out.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like in the first book, like it really wove into the story. Like it made sense every step of the way. Every reference kind of had a point. This one, it's kind of like, it's been 5 sentences, blah, 80s sci-fi reference. And it's just like, yeah. And there was like multiple ones stacked on top of each other, like,
So it was a little forced.
yeah, it was like, it was like if it was this and this and this, and it's just like, no, just you don't need to do that. You can, yeah. So I mean, overall, I don't feel like it was a wasted. $10 for the ebook. It was a quick read. It went pretty fast and everything, but yeah. If you haven't read Ready Player One, just stick with Ready Player One.
So I actually did the other way to do that, and that is I did the audiobook narrated by Will Wheaton, because if I read books, I stop doing everything in life. Breathing, pretty much, eating, going to work. So I try not to do that, and I allow myself audiobooks. Fantastic narration, again, by Will Wheaton, but I would say for the most part that, Ready Player One is the must-read, and I'm curious if he will ever reach that pinnacle again. But even so, he's going to have a... So if you're going to grade it, Dave, 1 to 10, what would you score it as?
It's a 5.
Oh, see, I wasn't going to go that far down. I was going to say 7.
I mean, I was really, because, I'd liked Ready Player...
No, I love Ready Player One.
See, that's the thing. I think I'm maybe being a little bit harsh because I'm kind of comparing it to how much I enjoyed Ready Player One. Ready Player One came out of nowhere for me. I loved the way it was written. I loved the way he did it. Was like it felt like a love letter to the '80s geek. This one just kind of was just like a forced conversation of just like who can do the nerdy reference, and it started off so good too. It's like I really love the kind of conspiracy rabbit hole he was going down with the oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the game. I talked about it on the last podcast I was on. Where it was like that Black Ops, that story of the video game that the government made that was making people go crazy because they were doing like psyops experiments on it and everything. So mentioning stuff like that, but then it kind of just went generic, after that. Like he really kind of lost he had a really good strong start to the book, and then it just kind of floated away, which was kind of unfortunate.
See, what I was frustrated with is another video games podcast that I listen to on a regular basis actually kind of spoiled the entire setup and premise of the book for me. And so I was disappointed going in that I knew what the basic hook was, and that was really frustrating. So, for me, it was like, but I enjoyed it. I felt it was too much of just the right person at the right time. We meet these people, and they're crucial to the ending of the book, of course.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, and everything fit too neatly into the pegs. The deaths that there were seemed really kind of cheap.
Right.
And so I don't know. It's,
There was no weight to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he continues on in this universe, because it sure seemed like he was setting up for a sequel.
Yeah, that's what upsets me about this one a lot.
No, this isn't the same. I mean, Ready Player One and this aren't the same continuity. It's a spiritual succession, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is just his next book. That's all.
All right.
But definitely stick with Ready Player One. Still looking forward. I'm looking forward to the movie they're making with Ready Player One. It sounds like they're really putting a lot of effort into it. So hopefully that works out well. I mean, it's got a halfway decent director. So.
Well, it depends. If he mirrors his early work,
yeah, exactly.
it should be fine. If he mirrors, I don't know, AI, then we might have a problem.
I just rewatched AI the other day, actually, because it started as a Kubrick movie.
You're right. And it should have stayed a Kubrick movie.
And it's so painfully obvious, like, when the Kubrick stuff ran out, and the movie switched. It was really funny. But yeah, so there's that, and I'm trying to think of anything else going on. Yeah, I watched. I did get a chance to see Justice League: Gods and Monsters, but that's for a different cast.
That's for a different cast. Kate, how about you? Have you played anything?
Yeah, record keeper. I got stamina to 100. I got 2 characters to 65.
Wow, you're way ahead of me.
Yeah, but you're ahead of me in stamina. I haven't played it all yet today.
Hey-o.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait, 100 stamina? I just hit 81.
Yeah, I'm at 109.
He's like 109. Yeah, see,
Yeah, I'm up to 109.
You have all the elite dungeons done, don't you?
No, God, no. The farther you go in the storyline, I'm to the point now where, like, even for the story missions, I'm gonna need to get some people up to 65 to continue.
Well, I mean, if you have a party, because what I'm doing now is, well, I'm doing the Tifa thing. I only played it like very briefly last night. I didn't want to get her memory crystal. But then I go back and do the elite dungeons. If you have really good equipment, you could do it with people in their 50s. I mean, I have one. My party's kind of like the gamut of 50 to 65 right now because I'm leveling people up. So like Sephiroth's at like 61 or 62, and then there's a couple people who I just put in to replace Cloud and Cecil who went to 65, and like Yuna's at 57. Like, so it's like kind of there's a whole bunch of people at different stages. But if you have the right equipment and exploit the weaknesses. Yeah, I didn't get that. I saw it. I know. I used your roaming warrior a couple of times.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the first time I looked at my phone and I'm like, got a mithril, got the random daily, got 7,000. Wait, what? And I get like $7,000 every day now. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, so. I still haven't gotten a good like character-specific mithril pull. Actually, this kind of ties in with news, but I went back into my playthrough of Dead or Alive Extreme 1 after 3 was announced. So I've been going and playing that to get like in the mood, waiting for 3 in a year or so, whenever it's going to come out. In Japan only, but we'll get to that later.
Anything else that you played?
No, not really. As far as books go, I actually went into a bookstore for the first time in a long time, because anyone who's watching who has depression knows that reading usually falls by the wayside. Like, I haven't read a book in forever because I just don't have the motivation and attention span, and it felt nice to finally to have an interest in reading again. I haven't read Ready Player One though. So I should put that at the top of my list.
You really should. That game will make you squee, or that book will make you squee inside.
I did read a book. Every time you were talking about Armada, I was thinking of the book by China Miéville, which is also called Armada. It's like a sci-fi book. I don't know if anyone's here has read it.
I have not.
It's excellent. That's
Matt, how about you?
Final Fantasy Record Keeper. And I'm not doing very well there.
Perk.
Yep. That's about it. I downloaded all the free.
Why aren't you
games.
doing well?
Oh, just I mean, I'm fine. I mean,
You play on Sundays.
well, I was driving all day Sunday, last Sunday.
Excuses.
Excuses, I know. But it's just like I haven't figured out the right mix to get like Edgar's Crystal. I haven't gotten down far enough to try to get Saban's yet, and just stupid little stuff like that.
You're still not trying to match your underpowered characters.
It confuses me because you've been playing as long as we have, so I mean, you should have a few characters. Like, I really don't understand.
Well, I don't either. Other than the game hates me. That much I know.
Well,
the game absolutely hates me. But
Well, I've never gotten a character-specific... At least you've gotten a character-specific pull. I've gotten 0.
Yeah, we
Are
both
you
have.
using that person?
That person is awesome.
He's got Vanille as his, and she's still at level
Yo,
40.
she's disgusting. I have a healer, and I can just go boop 3k HP, and I've never liked healing as much as I do now.
So, Matt, are you using Vanille?
No.
Well, then you're playing the game wrong.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong. Why are you got to use like your top level characters and max out their items?
She's nowhere near my top level character.
Well, okay, but she's got a specific item to her, so she should be in your party.
Your max damage party.
Yeah, your max damage party. Because her ability is phenomenal.
Yeah, then I get to that point, well, who do I replace her with? And then I fall down the rabbit hole, and yeah.
See, the way I do it is I don't have a set party. My goal in this game is leveling people. Like, so my it's always in motion. So I think my thing is more leveling up your equipment.
Yeah, see, I actually use a static party, and when they hit to 65, then I'll swap them out. But I level up my equipment that everybody uses to the max.
Yeah, that's the most important, because then when you bring in someone like if you go back to like people who are level 20, they can still use the same equipment as the 65 people, and it will be much, much, much easier to get through lower level stuff.
If I can figure out a time, we need to do like a dedicated Final Fantasy Record Keeper podcast. Because I just watched Dave Churro glaze over.
I drank like 3 beers while you guys were talking, so that's cool.
That's hitting the booze there, my friend. But no, that's just with the game. I was traveling for work, and then I was traveling for GenCon, so I really haven't touched anything. Because I downloaded all the free PS Plus games for August. I did play something on my Vita while I was traveling for work, but I have absolutely no memory of what it was, so it doesn't count.
All right then, Nick, how about you?
Oh, a little bit here and there. 4 things mainly. FFRK, obviously. I kind of feel the same as Matt, but I'm like the next level, and I don't mean to insult you, but for me, it's getting.
I don't mean to be a jackass,
Wow.
but I'm going to anyway. I'm not always a jackass, but I don't
I don't mean to put you down, Matt, but you're here, and
I'm about here. Because I can get the memory crystals in a day. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't get the 4-star stuff.
Actually have to work at work. I know that's a foreign concept to Mark for sure. But
Well, I can't even get reception on my phone at work.
That is bull. I play it after 9 a.m. I'll log in just to log in and get the daily stuff. But then at lunch, that's when I deplete my stamina, and then I don't play it again until after work.
Yeah, the secret there is you take a 3-hour lunch. That's the part you haven't told me.
I do not take a 3-hour lunch. God.
What he's leaving out are multiple poop breaks.
I was going to say 4 to 5 a day.
Multiple pooty break.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
He was just like, I have to make a poop. He grabs his phone and marches into the bathroom.
I need my phone to poop. I need it.
Yeah.
I need it. It's necessary. No, I can't get 4-star stuff. I can't get enough orbs to do a whole lot. I got Quake and I got Power Breakdown 4-star, and I just can't do any more. I got 1 4-star summon, but it's like the next level for me is getting 4-star stuff, and I just can't. All those levels kick my butt. I have a full party of 50, like 52, 53, and I just can't. I can't win.
Yeah, what else have you been playing? Well, I'll save my comments.
Okay. I did play a little bit of Destiny again. Yes, I got back into it. I only got back into it because I want to get.
Trophy?
No, not yet. I want to get the. I want to get the. I want to get the the year 1 thing because I am a year 1 beta player.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, doesn't sound good.
Because I like being trapped in an abusive relationship.
I should have been more supportive.
Stockholm Syndrome on a game.
This is totally going to be an intervention soon.
Yo, you wait till we get to the news. I think that will be intervention enough.
When we get Nick some self-esteem, it's going to be a good day.
You got a long way to go. Let me tell you, you got a long way to go. I did play a little bit of Rocket League. Addictive. I stopped before I got too into it, but I'm so bad at sports, so that doesn't help. But it's fun. I'll say that. And then I've been. Yes.
Just real quick, we have a viewer question for Turo.
Oh,
Turo,
snap.
What beer are you drinking?
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. I'm actually drinking Four Hands Super Flare. It's a collaboration with Wicked Weed Brewing Company off of North Carolina, and it is an IPA with guava, something else. I can't remember what it was. It tastes like guava and mango and grapefruit, and Brett, which is the yeast that they use in Belgian brews like farmhouse ales. So Brett with IPA and all that juicy tropical fruits. But yes, Four Hands Super Flare.
I think
And I'm guessing all locally sourced, artisanal ingredients.
No, it's Four Hands is in St. Louis. I just love my beer.
There's nothing artisanal about St. Louis.
It's actually made by Budweiser. All right, guys.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, Four
We're
Hands
also thinking
Super
about-
Flare.
It's really just a variant of Bud Lime.
Oh.
It does not taste like puke.
All right, now that we've derailed into the big
Cheese and
Beers
rice.
Live podcast.
Four Hands Super Flare. Gosh.
Yeah, Thor Breakbeat God also says regarding Stockholm Syndrome on a game, this is why I keep reinstalling Star Wars The Old Republic, which just got an update,
It did.
of all things. So crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it just got an update.
I was thinking of Knights of the Old Republic, and I was about to say, that is not a problem, sir. But yeah.
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 We all have our crutches.
So,
Anyway,
Nick, what else have you been?
so play
Yeah.
Rocket League. Fun, addictive. I don't have time for it right now.
I'm
And
gonna
then I
drive
have-
to everybody's house and punch them if we don't play Rocket League as a.
It's so good.
I still don't have
That'd be
my
fun.
PSN Plus set up, and with the
Oh.
bankruptcy.
Just buy the game. Just straight up buy it. It's worth
No,
it.
it's not.
Yeah,
the
but
game,
we
it's
can't
not the
play
game
with
that's the
people.
issue.
Oh yeah, there's that whole thing too. Anyway, and then I've been playing the crap out of Persona 4. I'm finally free roaming, and it's the weirdest strategy. It's the weirdest concept in an RPG. It's not go to dungeon A, go to dungeon B, go to dungeon C. Oh look, you saved the princess. It's you have a life. Oh, and by the way, you have to save these people before they die and the game's over. Have fun.
Oh, hey, you're really, really tired today. You sure you want to go adventuring tonight?
Yeah, it's real life. It's good. It's good because I joined the soccer club and now I have to watch out for the forecast. I care about weather. I've never cared about weather.
You're
And now
doing things
now
like
we
in real
really
life.
know- yeah, now we really know it's a video game too because Nick joined the soccer club. Come on. Man.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding, Nick.
No, that's honesty. It's fun and combining personas. I'm that person who I got my first persona, and he's like my little precious. So I don't want to combine him with anything. But I know if I do, I'm gonna get an awesome persona. So I need to just shut up and combine, and then rebuy him anyway.
That was Persona.
So lots of stuff. It's good. It's scary. And I did a little thing I shouldn't have done, but I don't care. I looked up the secret final boss, Margaret.
Spoilers
Yeah.
for a 7-8-year-old game.
And oh wow, that battle. and some of the personas the person was using, holy crap. So, a little scared, not gonna lie.
Anything else you play? Or is that it?
Record Keeper, Magic Duels is out. I did the tutorial. Ooh. And I downloaded the game because it's free. And
That's how they hook you.
yeah, and I was hooked years ago. Don't worry about that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's all I really did play.
So I played Final Fantasy Record Keeper. I got both Sabin and Edgar's crystals the day of launch. I got. I don't have Wait, I'm not sure if I have Tivas or not. I either am just about to get it or I just got it. One of the two. Played a lot. Played a bit of Rocket League. That game is so much fun. And Matt, I learned how to fly.
Learning to fly.
Yeah, I still can't hit the ball while I'm flying, but I learned how to fly.
Basically,
Yeah, like R. Kelly. I was gonna say that too.
I was like, it's either R. Kelly.
I do not urinate on people while I am flying, so no, I'm not like R. Kelly at all.
You're doing it wrong.
Yep.
You are not truly flying, good sir.
All right. Galaxy came out this week. I purchased that and have been playing it. That game
totally does not seem like your kind of game.
Oh my god, it is totally my game. That game is amazing and hard. If you're not familiar, it is a procedurally generated shmup, which means shoot 'em up. It's basically you have a starfighter and
it's Robotech.
It's Robotech and momentum and inertia and all that good stuff, and then missile locking on and firing your lasers and charging them.
From the name, I totally thought it was gonna, because it was Galaxy. I thought it was gonna be space zombies. For some reason, the name seems space zombies.
Dead Space.
Space zombies.
There weren't zombies. Dead Space weren't zombies.
Necromorph zombies.
Dead Space is coming back.
So that's been a lot of fun, actually.
No, I wish it was.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Do that to me, Nick.
Limbo.
Can he be the one that's kicked off this week? That one? See, that actually deserves being kicked off.
That's why you've been gone for a month, in all honesty. I just figured out how to let you back in. Limbo, played a little bit of it on Warhammer Arcane Magic on the phone. That game is more and more fun the longer I play it. And then I also played some kind of related to what Nick was talking about, but not quite. I played some actual card games. Got into the Paper Crack over the last week. Versus System relaunched 2015. Matt's holding up the box, so say something, Matt.
Something, Matt.
There you go. Like it because it's all contained in one box. $50 gets you 4 of every card. You don't have to buy multiple boxes or booster packs or any of that nonsense.
Deadpool has the best flavor text ever.
Yeah, Deadpool has amazing. Deadpool is the only card with flavor text in this new game.
Which is correct.
Awesome. And then also been playing UFS, which is a Universal Fighting System card battling game that came out in 2006. It had all kinds of cool video game characters like Samurai Showdown and Soul Calibur and Street Fighter and Penny Arcade and a bunch of stuff like that.
Soul Calibur, yeah, you said that already. Never mind.
Yeah, I said that already. But then it went bankrupt. Oh, yep. And it came back. Somebody bought it, started it again. They've released Darkstalkers and Mega Man. They're about to release Street Fighter, and they just obtained the license to Mortal Kombat. So all of those are coming out shortly.
And everybody went crazy when they announced Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, including me. And there is Matt once again showing the.
You have to say something, Matt.
The Proto Man tin.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
So I got Proto Man, Wily, and Mega Man.
How much is it just for the 10? Yeah, just for the 10. How much is that?
The 10s are 20. The decks are
10.
10 if you buy it from them, 13 most other places.
Okay.
And
the Darkstalker one intrigues me. Man, I wish they'd redo that game. Or Capcom's 4.
The funny part is they have 2 tins for the Darkstalkers ones. They've got Morrigan and No, the other 10 is the Succubus, the other half of Morrigan. Lilith. And the Lilith deck is actually really great. There's a lot of recursion. You pick your attacks back up after you make them. It's a lot of fun. But the Felicia deck.
Felicia's just a regular starter deck.
Felicia is a regular starter deck, and she is almost tournament ready. She's fantastic. So we've been playing those here at the house. We're gonna actually try and figure out how to do this where we can play over Skype or something like that and start publishing those here on the site.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, I'd like to buy those, except I don't have any real life friends.
That's the whole point.
And since we're covering them, I also picked up this Firefly Shiny Dice. It's another upper deck offering. It's a Risk dice game, not Risk like the board game, but at risk, similar to like a zombie dice, where the longer you go, the more at risk you are, but you build reward based off that risk. So we've been playing it here, playtesting it with the kids and stuff, and everybody likes it so far. So, and it's Firefly, so hey.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the announcements regarding all that stuff.
And I opened the Legendary box, and I am scared by that system. Oh my gosh, it is complicated. Holy crud.
So that speaking
of card games, the Kickstarter for Exploding Kittens shipped. So I did get mine this week as well.
Upon arrival?
No, it didn't. It actually, you open it up and it meow. So
false advertising, sir. False advertising.
That was a great way to spend that extra money that they got in the Kickstarter. I was really happy.
Fall Out Boy song, but whatever.
So let's very quickly go through a GenCon 2015 review, because that obviously Matt and myself and then Lexi went to GenCon. We did live streaming. We obtained interviews. We did an unboxing of the Versus product. That's actually going up tonight. I was going to start it up before the podcast and then realized, hey, wait, I might need that bandwidth for actually, podcasting. So decided not to do that, but that'll be up tonight. Man, Matt, this was your first Gen Con. I'm going to let you talk about your impressions and what did you think?
It's crazy in the best possible way. I think the Indianapolis Convention Center or is it Indiana? I don't know if it's Indiana or Indianapolis.
It's Indianapolis. Yeah.
Becomes a fairly good-sized city during this event. There are people all over the place, and even Sunday when we went back to pick up some stuff that we hadn't picked up while we were working the first couple of days. It was still crowded. I was expecting it to lighten up, but it didn't. There's vendors for everything there. It's kind of like a Comic-Con that way. So there's tons of game vendors, but there's other stuff too. There's, clothing, apparel,
steampunk clothing, dice
steampunk
vendors.
clothing, yeah, costume wear, weapon vendors. The Ocarina vendor that we saw at Wizard World Madison was there. So there's just all kinds of stuff, and again, I'm not really a people person, but
I never would have guessed.
I don't like being in large groups of people. Shall we say that? But again, I was amazed at Wizard World in Madison, and that was dinky by comparison. But here again, generally, people are bumping into each other. You're really crowded and stuff, and people are generally nice about it. I mean, every once in a while, you got somebody that's in a hurry to get somewhere, and they're usually apologizing left and right as they shove their way through the sea of salmon going the other way. But for the most part, everyone's courteous, and all the cosplayers are fine with you taking pictures or stuff, and there's just it's amazing that you can get that many people into that kind of space, and you don't really see any issues. That part still strikes me, but
to
from
put into perspective what Matt's saying, Gen Con starts on Thursday and goes through Sunday. And last year was about 56,000 people. I would not be surprised if they broke 62 this year.
Which is larger than La Crosse, the biggest city in this area. But there's the number of games.
To help some people quick, La Crosse has 3 colleges. for all of you in small cities. 3 colleges within half a mile of each other.
Yeah.
Some within feet. So.
Some are touching.
Some are.
But there were rooms we never even got to. I know, especially upstairs where there were game rooms going on that we never even stuck our noses in. But they had the 10K going for versus. That took all day and then some. They were still going during the after party. They were still going with that silly tournament. They had all kinds of game demos going on. The thing I didn't realize is it's not ad hoc. For at least 2 of the days, there you go and you actually schedule a time to go to these demos. What?
All 4 days.
All 4 days, okay. And some of them cost, some of them don't. I assume if it's one that costs, you probably get something, but I don't know. I didn't sign up for any of them, so I'm not sure. If they're standing around not doing anything, there was a guy. What was his name? Is it Nathan? Who was dressed up as Malcolm Reynolds, and he was demoing the Shiny Dice game at the Upper Deck. You can't call it a booth. It was an area.
It was a tropical area.
They had about
mirrored Predator.
That mirrored Predator. So aside from that one clothing vendor in the middle, they had the next biggest square footage area on that floor. And the Predator was because they were launching the legendary system Predator game. But yeah, it's huge. It's amazing. All these people, around our area, Nick, we get people saying, "Oh, you're the nerdiest guy I know," and you go there and you realize I don't even come close. I don't even touch the edge of that guy's universe right there. It's completely hands off on my part.
I would need to go through other parallel universes to get to his universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people call us nerdy, and then they look at them and they go, "So, have you watched sports lately?" No. It's just bad.
So the thing for me that was the most entertaining is when Matt and I went to Wizard World Madison, he was impressed by the scope of the size of the con and all the people there, and of course I was like grinning to myself because I've been to GenCon for like 10 years, and so this was an eye-opening experience for him and for Lexi.
Look at this much electricity in one room.
Yeah, there was a. This was the first time that
plumbing.
Yeah, pretty much. There was live streaming for the first time this year. We've got all that archived. We're gonna splice it all together and put it up on the site. And so lots of stuff. Got cosplay. Got some interviews. I participated in the $10,000 tournament. I did abysmally. Mike, the other team member, he came in 52nd. But we were on the right track in the very limited play testing that we had. We built basically the same deck as the person who won the entire tournament. So I was happy to see that after years of being out of the competitive card scene, we still had enough chops to figure out combinations and all that good stuff. So I wrote an article, 2,000-word article on the site. If you like reading and want to know about what that's like, you can find that up on the site right now. While we were there, Upper Deck announced a couple other acquisitions for their Legendary series. They announced that they had got the rights for Firefly and then Big Trouble in Little China. What's interesting is that any licenses that they get for Legendary are fair game for Versus, which means that we will have a Firefly expansion of Versus, we will have a Big Trouble in Little China expansion of Versus, we will have an Alien and a Predator expansion of Versus that you'll be able to play with the Marvel Comics side as well. So that's going to be very interesting, and again, since they've done away with, buying blind packs of cards, you know what you're going to get in every single expansion and have enough to play 4 copies of it, which is pretty sweet. So I'm looking
for anyone that doesn't know, Legendary is a deck builder system put out by Upper Deck, and again, like Mark was saying, it's got everything in the box you need to play. Well,
actually, it's a different game from Versus.
Yeah, it's a very different game. Like I said, the game mat itself kind of scares me. You just look at it for all the places for cards, and I'm already overwhelmed. So I haven't even taken the cards out of the cellophane yet, and I'm overwhelmed. There's 700 cards in that box.
Yeah. And Matt walked out with the massive, largest booty haul from the VIP after party. That he won the grand prize.
Which was the Legendary Predator and the exclusive game mat. So.
And then was paranoid that we would be robbed on the way back. And I'm like, yes, Matt, people in Indianapolis are going to yank a box of cards out of your hand. Because that's by far going to be the most expensive thing they can rob off anyone.
Well, you never know.
So.
It sold out at the show, so.
It did sell out at the show, so there is that. I think that's going to bring us then to the news. So, Nick's Obsession Destiny. Let's talk a little bit about everybody's favorite game.
Why are we doing that?
I knew that would happen.
Because there's very large news that
I just came back. It's dead.
So here's the deal. Bungie has basically said, hey, all you cool cats who spent all this time getting exotic weapons and leveling them up through our obtuse leveling systems with 9 different currencies, hey, for all your hard work, screw you. We're going to completely erase all of that in the upcoming expansion as we start year 2 of Destiny. If you want to just skip all this nonsense and jump straight into the year 2 content, we're going to give you a way to do that. And all those level 1 or year 1 weapons that you spent time, wasting time grinding and upgrading. Yep, nope, that's all by the wayside. These level 2 weapons will start much more difficult, much more better, and you won't ever have to touch those level 1s again.
I swear to God, the only thing that game has going for it is Peter Dinklage.
And they got rid of him.
So, yeah, good job.
Part 2, Dave.
Actually,
Nice troll.
They are retconning Peter Dinklage completely out of the game. Nolan North is re-recording all of his original lines.
I have to imagine they're editing the lines too, because Dinklage's delivery was not the worst thing about those.
No,
it was pretty bad.
It wasn't that bad.
I just want to know if they're going to put the original "That Wizard, He's from the Moon" back into the game. That would be hilarious if Nolan North did it.
That would be funny. He'd put a twist on that, though.
So yeah, basically, every time I even slightly consider going back to Destiny, I'm like, no, they're just gonna screw me over in the update, and this is 100% proof. Here you go again.
Well, the thing I hate, the thing I hate about it, it does look bad for folks like the ones that bought in from the get-go. Unfortunately, it actually now looks like the game it should have been at launch.
Yeah.
This whole light thing was stupid from the get-go. Now that they've gotten rid of that and done just regular levels, and then it's gear grind rather than this light stuff, I think it's actually getting to the game that it should have been at launch. Not talking about story. Speaking of which,
there's still too little content. And on top of that, go ahead.
Did anyone else watch the Will Wheaton's Conversations with Creators yet? No? Okay.
You can spoiler it for me. I don't care.
Episodes 2, 3, and 4 aren't too bad, but episode 1 is with Bungie. And I got concerned about this series straight off the bat. I understand it's supposed to be a more positive thing. It's not here to put the developers on the spot. It's to highlight the developers and talk about their creative process and stuff. But if Will could have given one more glowing review for the depth and breadth of Destiny and its awesome development and story and character progression, I probably would have thrown up on my own lap. Because, did you play the same game I played, Will? I mean, come on. Okay, I get it. It's supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be affirming. Where it's, they gave a little 3-second blurb to, oh yeah, we're addressing all of our community's inputs, but troller's gonna troll kind of thing.
Money hat.
Yeah. But anyway,
Games.
Well, okay.
It's interesting. It was just an interesting.
I'm gonna say this about it. This is being produced by Sony. Sony has an inherent monetary investment into Destiny and its success, so of course they're going to portray it in a positive light and emphasize the things they think are great that people might agree with. I do not.
It invalidates the journalistic integrity to go back
Will
to that.
Wheaton is not there for a journalistic integery. He is there to
Will Wheaton.
Eyes on views. I mean, we saw this at the Geek and Sundry booth at GenCon. Will Wheaton was there, and he immediately created this massive traffic jam that they had to make him leave his own booth because no one could walk through that section of the convention.
It's true.
And so he's just there to put butts in seats, and that's fine. It's just don't.
But it was different for the other 3 that he's done so far. I mean, it's still that positive, but it wasn't. I mean, yes, he did gush over Naughty Dog because he knows people from the voice acting and
deserves it.
And Naughty Dog deserves
Destiny,
it,
what?
right? Right. But so I mean, it felt so odd and out of place, and it's just I mean, if they would have at least acknowledged, hey, there have been some issues, but hey, we're working on it. We're doing this stuff. It just, I don't know. It made me worried about the series with that one being the first out the chute. But episodes 2, 3, and 4, again, still, it's not hard hitting, hard questions. They're total softball questions, but at least they're with developers who deserve it.
See, I think the only interesting news really beyond, hey, they're going to mess everybody over again to come out of all this stuff with Bungie this week is that apparently they're looking for a PC compatibility tester on their career page, which makes everybody think, oh, they're going to port Destiny to the PC.
I'm sure that'll be great.
I did send an application for. Just saying.
Fantastic. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, I don't know. It's so... Could they benefit from more players? Yes, but they're not changing. I mean,
more players to screw over.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Reap the harvest. That's
That meeting has to be great. Like they're our Monday night. We're not screwing over enough
apologist.
Apologist.
Yeah, you're the Destiny apologist. What do you think about all of these? Very briefly, let's keep it 60 seconds or less.
I can't promise that, but I'll keep it brief.
What do you think about these changes that they've announced to the leveling system? A positive, negative, it really does invalidate all your hard work.
Well,
it turns you into a year 1 beta tester at full price.
I told you if I can put this on my resume, I'm totally okay with everything. But I'm gonna try and keep this simple. Yes, I agree. Light shouldn't have been a thing. Your gear shouldn't determine your level. Your level should determine your gear. Very basic concept here. I agree. I have no problem with them nuking all the gear. It happens in every MMO ever. The new expansion comes out, new stuff comes out, and you basically look at your stuff and go, "Oh, it's crap. Hey, look, new stuff." It happens. It literally happens in every game. So who cares? What they're doing wrong. And World of Warcraft has done it forever. A lot of the Guild Wars stuff has done it. Here's the thing. Bungie's doing it wrong with the fact that your old stuff instantly goes away. It's not your old stuff gets used to get the new stuff to replace your old stuff. It's you walk into the game and a vendor is selling better stuff than you. Or you walk into a game and common gear is better than your legendary gear. Yes, that's wrong.
But they're not doing that with this one, are they? I mean, that's not the way they made it sound when they did the announcement.
They have specifically stated you will find common gear better than your legendary Fatebringer.
Well, fine, yeah, you're not going to go to a vendor. It's from gameplay.
Well, then that means the new vendors are going to have everything. So, yes. You won't. It's an instant destruction of your stuff. You're gonna play the first quest. You're gonna get a buff already, by the way. You're gonna do the first quest, get your third subclass. Spoilers.
I don't think anyone gives a damn.
So you're gonna get your third subclass, and then you're instantly gonna get a level boost.
Yeah. So I'm I'll probably log in just to level up. Yay! And then
I have to say this though. They are doing a lot of right things though, and I'm gonna go through these quickly. Patrol missions have secret items you can find that unlock secret bosses that are hard as hell. Apparently, they're not unique. I'm gonna label that right now. They're not unique. They're giant ogres or they're giant knights. Nothing special. But they're secret. Fine. Secret bosses, secret material with exotic quests, a lot more exotic quests with more exotic items, 30 more exotic items, and cutscenes. Woo. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
He didn't have a segue for that.
It was just so boring.
So
thanks.
Speaking of MMOs, there's this MMO. It's very small. You guys probably have never heard of it before. I think it's called World of Warcraft.
What? Is that new?
I heard Nick mention it, but I never heard of it.
Yeah, so apparently they hit a milestone this week. They reached 5 to 6 million subscribers.
That's the lowest they've been in years.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So it's down from 12 million down to 5 to 6 million per month. That's a huge problem for them. I actually think it's time to pull the plug. Launch World of Warcraft 2 or whatever you need to do to migrate your remaining player
Galaxy
base
of
over.
Warcraft.
Yeah, Galaxy of Warcraft.
Gonna go
Get
from
people
World
to migrate over, attract new players back, because I really think that they're running out of steam by trying to patch this 15-year-old MMO now that's still using an upgraded but still original engine.
I think they jumped the shark when they had the Kung Fu Panda expansion.
No, that was actually super popular for them.
That was really good, actually. Yeah.
Really?
That was
I was
actually
like,
huge.
Interested because
I actually got into WoW just so I could play a Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
I've never played World of Warcraft because I think it's so ugly.
For a little bit.
Like the visual style is just horrendous to me, so I just never played it.
Yeah.
They really just need to make 2 and make it be everyone gets teleported to the ogre's home dimension and do it from that perspective.
That would be an interesting one, I'll give you that.
Speaking about other things that are happening now, PlayStation Now is now available on the PlayStation Vita. So if you are looking to stream classic games and PS3 games and things
Classic
like that.
games from last generation.
Those are classics now.
Yeah, so you can do that. Not much more to say about that one. The other side of our sales discussion with WoW is that Diablo 3 has now racked up 30 million sales units.
I need to get that.
Which that game is so delicious on console. It's one of the few times that I can say that the console port is way better than the PC version. And if you have not played it, you really should, because it is phenomenal.
It's on my list.
It's on mine too.
So that brings us then to our Gamescom news section. Of course, little show that's giant sized, only about 100,000 people attending it in Leipzig, Germany, and that is Gamescom. So Sony did not have a press conference at this one. They said, hey, it's too close to E3. We're going to hold off till late October with the Paris Games Week to do our next slate of announcements. And that meant that Microsoft had the floor to themselves as the 800-pound gorilla on the block. And everyone said, well, what are they going to show? And the answer is quite a bit of stuff. Some very interesting stuff. Turo, this is your wheelhouse, obviously, with all the Microsoft news coming out.
Mm-hmm.
First thing that they announced is that they are announcing subscription-free DVR service for over-the-air TV.
Yeah, which you have to buy a little adapter thing, right?
That is actually absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I was kind of about it. I don't have TV, so I don't know. For others that do use that, that's kind of a bummer. But whoever has cable, like, okay, that's pretty cool. But
it's not for cable. It's
It's
for
not
over the
for
air.
cable. It's only
No.
for over-the-air TV.
it's just weird. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. How
And then,
how wooed.
How wooed. Yeah, Wicket went in the cave because he pooped and peed. It's in the cave.
Where do you see it?
Oh, right there. Anyway, it's not part of the thing.
You're
Anyway.
here.
Okay, is this
All right.
podcast turned
Oh
into
my god.
This
Big
is
Brother Turo's apartment?
Wow.
I'm probate.
There was a
Brother
storm.
Turo's apartment.
There was a storm and the little one peed and pooped.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the rug's not there. Anyway,
Um,
yes, it's a bummer that I'm done.
So some of the other information that came out from Microsoft is that they showed the first Scalebound gameplay and revealed 4-player co-op, and that looks interesting. They also announced Killer Instinct Season 3 coming with Battletoads as fightable or playable characters. They also announced that if you buy Just Cause 3 on Xbox One, you'll get the backwards compatible Just Cause 2. And then lastly, they announced that 360 backwards compatibility will be coming to the general populace in November, and all gold 360 titles moving forward will be compatible with backwards compatibility on the Xbox One.
And that was all very exciting news. I thought that's what they were going to go for, even from the very beginning when they announced the backwards compatibility, but now that it's like more official, it makes me happy.
So here's my question. They had the stage all to themselves. We didn't get any what I would call megaton announcements.
Just more of what we kind of knew.
Do you think this was a lost opportunity for them, or do you think
I think
they
it
did
was.
just fine?
Like, I mean, it's cool that they fleshed out a lot of that stuff that they announced at E3, and, you know, they got a lot of attention because they were the only ones there. But it would have been a golden opportunity to just drop something like, you know, console exclusive game. It would have been like a really good chance to just really upstage Sony. I mean, the stuff they did was cool. I'm not taking that away, and it was a lot of good information to flesh out stuff, but I think it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but when you're number one, you don't have to sit there and take chances, so why bother?
Gotta pay the troll toll.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I've
It's
been
like
away
we
for a while.
we got Halo Wars 2, so...
When
Come on.
Dave talks like that, I just picture Danny DeVito from the episode of It's Always Sunny where he's like, the night man cometh, and he's dressed like the troll.
That is awesome. Oh.
Gotta pay the troll toll.
It's pretty accurate.
Hey, you really can't complain about that, Turo, because they also announced the Halo Reach pack for or expansion for the Master Chief Collection, right?
No.
Oh.
No, because I want that. That's what I want. Halo Reach is the best thing that happened to Halo since Halo 2. And nothing else has come out that has been better than Halo Reach, and that makes me sad. So yes, they could have said something like that, or there's going to be like, here you go. And I'm like, what? What are you doing? What is this download? Okay. Oh.
Hey, but you're getting
not
Rare
gonna happen.
Replay on time.
I know. What happened to... I thought you were telling me all sorts of things. But it's not going to happen. And then it's there.
You have a photo.
There's some drunk twink in your background.
No.
Wow. All right then.
Bazinga.
Wow.
And this has been another episode of...
Yes. So that brings us to reader
Kate
mail.
is back.
Reader mail.
Oh, I had a couple new things of news,
Oh, well then I won't play the codec call.
which you just played.
Go ahead.
Okay,
what's-
the first thing is possible FF12 remaster.
That wasn't proven.
That was,
actually,
wasn't.
Yeah,
If only.
it was actually clarified that it was a mistake
Yeah.
in a mistranslation, and there will not be one, sadly.
I think
Yeah,
it was
that
like
would be awesome.
I have a feeling that there is going to be one, and it's just like not ready to announce. So I think
It's a seed.
they're just going to end up backpedaling on it and
So,
then be like, oh
we'll
hey,
have-
remember when that happened? Here's your
Have to wait
game.
another 10 years then?
No, 15, because it's going to take at least 20 until Kingdom Hearts 3 becomes beta.
No, I doubt it. If they do it, it will be a remaster, just like 10.10.2 was.
Yes,
it
it
will
will.
not
I'm okay
be.
with
Oh, not a redo?
No, it won't.
Yeah, it'll be a
remake.
remaster like 10 and 10 2.
Which I'm
Uh,
okay with.
I'm
And
okay with that too.
You know, surprisingly, the PlayStation 2 is the only platform that game exists on. So
It's the only Final Fantasy that's like that, so
Yes,
like-
and I would be very
Those are
happy
really
to
good,
see a
too.
remaster.
I think we will. I think mistranslation is kind of one of those like, oh, Matsuno is sick things, where it's like he's sick, and it was a mistranslation. So I expect to kind of hear an announcement on it again in the future. And other news, there was a Dead or Alive festival in Japan where they invited different players from all around the world to like compete against each other, and they announced Dead or Alive Extreme 3 there. They couldn't show anything because it was too new in development, but they did announce it's for Japan and Asia only. So I will be having to import it. And I kind of understand why, because I think if they released it in this gaming culture in the US now, it would get crucified. Crucified.
Which actually brings us to our first reader mail question, and that is sent in by Thor, the Breakbeat God of Thunder, who wants to know what are the panel's opinions on Gamergate. We have talked briefly about Gamergate in the past. If you're not familiar, Gamergate was basically a huge brouhaha about ethics in games journalism and the treatment of women in games journalism, the treatment of women in the gaming industry as a whole, I should say, and everything
Very
surrounding
accurate.
that. And there were a lot of misappropriate things that were done at a certain outlet, which we won't rehash. But basically, there was the question of, was sexual favors traded for good ratings on a video game for an independent developer?
And then it just exploded into other
exploded
things.
Which became a crazy, out-of-control spiral of PC-ness that I hate PC to begin with, but this...
Yeah, people forgot about the initial catalyst of everything, like really quick.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is what it is. The stuff that followed afterward was horrific.
Yeah, I think that's...
So that really became the story, and rightly so.
Gamergate became something different than Gamergate, is what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, all the things about, like, the original were sexual favors traded for, for score and gaming journalism has been completely ignored. In more talking about the way women are treated in video game industry, and a lot of really horrible stuff has come out of that. I mean, I think it kind of shines a light on the misogyny that still exists in, like, geek culture, where it's like, I don't know if it's like, a fear of women equals a hatred of women kind of thing.
Fear of women?
Well, like, think of all
it's true.
the super nerds who never have girlfriends, right?
Well,
They only see girls in anime.
The interesting thing for me actually happened this weekend while we were at GenCon, and we were in the 10K, or I was in the 10K, and my girlfriend was there with us, and she said, "Wow, there's no girls playing. I'd kind of like to learn a card game because there's no women playing." And the funny part is actually in this tournament I played against. Wow, Matt, when did we start playing Versus 2006?
About then, yeah.
I played against my first female competitor in the 10K since 2006. So I was really happy to see somebody at least trying to get out there and learn the cards. But yeah, I think that there is a large problem of, and the worst part about it is that whole misogyny and threatening attitude that you find online is fostered because of anonymity of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
the worst
obviously,
part-
like sending death threats and then sending like police cars and SWAT teams and stuff and like posting your address online, like that's not just misogyny, that's like crossing a line. And then but then there's this knee-jerk reaction from the the whole gaming community where it's like, oh no, not me. Like instead of facing the problem, a lot of male gamers are like, well, I don't do that. Instead of saying it is a problem. Like,
right.
Is a campaign like the same thing with rape culture? Like it's like, oh, I don't do that, so whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's something that will continue to transform the industry for a good long while. I think that I agree with game ethics and game journalism. I also agree in free speech. I don't agree in hate speech, and I think that it's something that will evolve over time.
I'm always kind of afraid, though, that because of something like this, it just creates more animosity to female gamers because there's like this, this thread of PC-ness where, that's why men's rights activists and stuff have been growing in number because they feel threatened, and exposing a problem actually kind of makes it worse at the beginning.
Yes, and it should be worth mentioning, as Thor pointed out in our Q&A section, that the allegations of trading sex for favorable reviews was proven false. But it still spawned.
Yeah, it still spawned.
Spawned, sorry.
Can I say my little thing on this whole thing?
Yes.
Being in a science field, I noticed this on a science too. There's just not a lot of okay, let me be honest. There's like no females. There were no females in my computer science course. There were maybe 3 ever. And it's something that when asked, there was a very important question asked in one of the panels that said, it wasn't, do you feel threatened? Do you feel this? It was, what are your interests? Not in science, just what are your interests? And I don't remember the exact percentage, but a large percentage of girls are just like, I don't care about science. When I look at my future, I just don't see a science field as it. So part of the lack of females in the industry, it isn't just, yes, there are tons of problems. I'm not going to degrade any of those. But part of it is just sometimes some group of people just don't feel like they want to be part of it.
That's true.
I'm not going to degrade anything else. Anything horrible that happens needs to be resolved. But
I think that one of the issues, like what you're saying, is exactly true because at a young age, like women my age or even a little younger, weren't encouraged to be interested in science because that's like a boys thing. Because I know, I when I went to high school, they still, girls took home economics, boys took shop, kind of thing, right?
I was going to say something that would allow Dave to make fun of me, but I'm going to say it anyway. I took home ec.
So did I.
It's more useful than shop.
I did too.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy. He posts every picture of every meal he makes on Facebook.
Dude,
okay.
Today I perfected my banana muffin recipe.
Oh god, we're not going to go down this.
And it was 1/16 less teaspoon of baking soda. It was 1/16 tablespoon less.
So anyways, I hope that answers your question, Thor. We've got a couple other questions to tackle that are also just as earth-shattering. I22 Link 22I writes in with his usual abundance of questions. First one to the panel. This is a quick fire. All the way down, Turo, who apparently is not monitoring the podcast. Fantastic.
Yeah, I am. I'm right here.
Turo, Saints Row or GTA?
Oh, Saints Row.
Dave?
Oh my God, Saints Row. So all the way.
Kate?
GTA.
Matt?
Saints Row.
Nick?
Saints Row.
And I will also agree with Saints Row.
Haha, I'm the different one.
And then the question for each of you, this is not a lightning question, you can have a moment to think about it, but think while Turo is answering because he doesn't get a moment. What video game genre do you feel needs more games to be released for it?
Platforming.
Platforming.
Yes. It's everything went to FPS and now MOBAs and RPGs. I was like, no, I'm not complaining, but where are the I used to love calling Mario clones because they were platformers. I want more Mario clones. I want more platformers.
Dave?
Well, I also agree with the platformers because I don't think we can have enough of them. I'd like to see some good old 2D brawlers again.
2D brawlers, that's nice.
There are some fun games, like a good old Streets of Rage, you know? I still play
2D brawlers. Okay.
Yeah, I still play Streets of Rage 2 like on a regular basis. Like I will fire that game up and play through it. I own it for like
They did
everything.
have Castle Crashers. Like,
Yeah. But that was already, what, 4 years ago at this point?
Yeah, but it's still fun to pick up and play. But yeah, you're right. We do need something else along the lines
new
of
side-scrolling Double Dragon.
Or Battletoads.
Which we did get.
Yeah, we did.
Well,
It
yeah.
wasn't the same.
or Double Dragon versus Battletoads.
Kate, how about you?
Photography games.
Photography games. Pokemon Snap, bring it on.
Pokemon Snap
Like
2.
Africa. Yeah.
Or Pokemon Indigo Plateau. That's fine.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, you think after all this time I'd have an answer, but I guess I'm going to go with
Well, it's really tied for three different things. But,
Yeah.
Took the words right out of his mouth.
I guess a traditional JRPG style game. I mean, everything's active battle, action stuff mostly now. Just, straight up, I'll line my guys up, you line your guys up, we'll take turns beating the crap out of each other, and we'll go home.
So Pokemon. You want more Pokemon.
Well,
I would
like
point out to all the
Record keeper.
Yeah, there is Record Keeper, actually.
Yeah.
But then I would also point out all the Atelier games, Atelier games that are coming out on PS4. There are actually quite a few JRPGs.
I have to agree with Mark. There's a lot of JRPGs, but I'm going to state this, that go under the radar.
They do. They do.
Like, if you go to your nearest GameStop and you just look at your PlayStation 3 stuff, I at least find 3-4 JRPGs. I'm like, where the hell did you come from? And I want to buy them because they're all $5. So you go to your nearest like GameSpot or what do we have here? Game Gen? No. Game Generations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go in the PS3 section or PS4 section. You'll find a JRPG you never knew existed before.
True, and there's probably more. I don't know. I need what I need is there to be less games. That's what I need.
Good luck because that's not going to happen
That's not
anytime
happening.
ever. Yeah. Nick, how about you?
When I say this, I don't mean the mobile versions. There need to be. I was thinking more puzzle games. Because we haven't. Portal 2 was good. It was really good, but there still needs to be more. I don't know. There just needs to be more logical games. Something that takes more than shoot, fire. It's not. I want something that actually challenges me.
All I have to say is 7th Guest and 11th Hour.
Aren't they supposed to make a sequel to one of those?
Kickstarter failed twice.
Dang it! Never mind.
I miss a good puzzle game. Something that actually makes you sit there and go, "What the hell?"
Aw, man! I came up with another one that I miss.
Well, no, Matt. You can't do that. And I'm gonna pick.
Picross.
What did you say?
Picross. The number and and you make a picture.
No.
The picture crossword. That's awesome.
Mine's actually going to be. I think we need more music games.
Rock Band 4.
Yeah, but I'm not necessarily talking about that, but I'm like, where's Patapon 3? Where's all the different types of games that can use the
Parappa the Rapper?
Parappa. I was just thinking of the name.
You know, we need more beat matching music type of games.
You need to check out Sound Shapes like now.
I have Sound Shapes.
And isn't it?
It is not. No, because it's a platformer with a musical rapper. And I don't mean rapping like Yo-Yo Dog.
Yeah, but it's got original Beck songs that you can't get anywhere else.
That is correct. There's a musical
fantastic.
rapper, and I agree. And those are awesome songs, but it is still a platformer that is inside a music rapper.
You're saying this like it's a bad thing.
It's not.
It's not a music game, though. It's instead of coins, you collect
game.
music samples.
It is not a beat-driven gameplay mode. It is just happens to have a lot of awesome music in it.
Oh, you're thinking of that like rhythm theater.
That is exactly it. Rhythm-based gameplay. And then Thor, also participating in our Q&A section, just like you can, says, "Hey, I want more point-and-click adventures like King's Quest." Congratulations, you got it. King's Quest Chapter 1 came out this last week, and from all reports I'm hearing, it is excellent. So
the only downside is expensive.
It is rather expensive. It's $30 for.
It's $40. $40 for 5 parts.
For 5 parts, so $6 a game.
Or $10 an episode.
Right. So that did just come out, and yeah. So thanks for that question as well. That's going to bring us then a little bit early to the end of the show. We'll wrap up with final thoughts before we do, of course, our normal housekeeping. Please do visit the website, gamersledge.com. If you'd like to follow us on Facebook or like us, you can do so at facebook.com/gamersledge. We're at Gamersledge on Twitter. When we do live streaming, that's a lot of times where it will pop up at. You can also visit Just for Dave, our Pinterest page, at pinterest.com/gamersledge. And then, of course, please do like and subscribe here on our YouTube channel. And if you like what you do, you can support us by heading over to patreon.com/gamersledge as well. That brings us to final thoughts, starting all the way at the far end with Turo.
If anybody has an Xbox One and Destiny, I'm going to try to get all the achievements, so if you guys can help me, that'd be awesome. Okay, thanks.
I hate you. Because you'll actually get it before me if you were to really do this.
This is like the trolliest episode ever.
I know, right?
I'll have it done by next week.
I would not. I wouldn't even.
I would love that so much.
Laughing Man Dave, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm just happy to be here.
You're not even supposed to be here today.
I'm not even supposed to be here
Day
today.
off. Then final thoughts, Kate.
Like, I don't think you guys realize how happy I am that DOA X3 is coming out, like, seriously.
Oh, I do.
I'm so importing. I'm, like, going to import the $200 special edition.
I'm
Totally.
importing all the things.
I'm going to set up a Japanese account for it. I can't wait.
I actually saw the hours that you put into that game at one point.
I think across the 3 games, the first game and the second game and the one that was on the PSP, probably 3,000 hours
That was
total.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm the biggest nerd.
Big title to
You are
take.
not the weakest link.
Matt, final thoughts?
You know, video games are great, but there are lots of other kinds of games out there too. There's a game for pretty much literally everyone that you can play with people around a table. And there are getting to be a lot of online options to simulate these games with too. I know I was playing Monopoly with Mark and Lexi over the PlayStation the other day. So, you know, don't be afraid to expand your horizons. You'll never know what you find something you like. You like Mega Man? Go buy this tin. Buy the other one. Buy the Mega Man tin, and then you've got 2 full decks that are designed to work with each other that you can find a person to just sit down and play with. Or if you're like me, you rope a kid into doing it. Sometimes literally involves rope.
Don't want to know.
The views expressed by Matt do not represent those of Gamersledge Podcast or Gamersledge.
But seriously, if you're a fan of Firefly and you like a pretty straightforward, simple game, it'll take a little while to get to where it's efficient enough that it'll be a quick game, but it is designed to be a quick game. The Shiny Dice game is a good buy. I think it was $30. So a little bit pricey, but not terrible when you consider things like Catan are like $60 or more a crack. And we won't even get into miniatures games because those are just ridiculous.
Those are just stupid amount of money.
What was that one with the chibi characters, Mark? It was 80 for the
my
regular and like
Yeah,
200 for the bigger ones.
They had they had little characters that were probably
Are
about.
you talking about HeroClix?
No.
No.
This is
I played that.
another game.
I played HeroClix too.
They have chibi characters that are 2 to 3 inches in size, and then they have giant chibi miniatures that are about
Like 4 to 6.
4 to 6, 6 to 8, somewhere in there in size. And the base set for the little ones were 80. The base set for the oversized ones were 200. So yeah.
$200
for the base
And
set.
that was before you started adding boosters and other things onto that. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah, you would have, even if you were buying the regular little size figures, you probably couldn't have walked out of there with less than $200. Just
Yeah, I was really proud of myself and how little I actually spent on the show.
yeah, I spent more than you, which is scary.
You did. So, Nick, final thoughts for this week?
Waiting on the Taken King, trying to get my year 1 stuff before wedding and mini moon and stuff like that. Enjoy your time. Try to play a game just to play a game sometime soon. Don't worry about trophies. Don't worry about anything. Just try to play a game when you have 2 hours free just to play. Don't judge me, Dave, right now. Don't judge me.
Who's saying this?
Yeah, I'm just confused. I'm confused for 2 things. I'm confused that he's saying that, and confused that somehow I missed blabbing about Lego Dimensions having a Slimer and a Stay Puft Marshmallow. Man.
Yeah, and the Blizzard dog.
This is gonna hurt. That whole game is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to end up pre-ordering all that stuff.
I hope they don't have any special editions anywhere, like
no,
stores.
I don't think there are any special editions. I think it's just
goodness, or limited or specific store editions.
Nope, but not that I'm aware of. But the sheer breadth and scope of what I'm going to have to pre-order is going to
hurt.
Dave, do you mind sharing? Since you pre-ordered all the stuff that I'm going to want to pre-order? If you do, that's fine. If you do mind, that's fine. But I'm just thinking that it's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like probably 20 for the base set and then 5 per. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being like $75-$80 easy.
Wait, what am I supposed to share?
How much you put down for all the because I know you pre-ordered it all already.
Oh yeah, I blocked that day from my memory.
Yeah, okay.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was a good day for the guy in GameStop. That was.
Yeah, I know. I'm
I basically said, I was like, what can I pre-order for Lego Dimensions? And he just started reading over everything, and I was like, just
do it.
I was like, yes. And then he was like, Ninjago, and I'm like, oh, F that, I don't need that. Save myself $15 right there.
Hey, he's the penny pusher at this point.
Yeah. So
but yeah, everything else, yeah.
We'll end the show as we always do.
Oh no!
By the
Watch
way,
out.
Please
Go home, save yourselves.
Please do check out the Versus unboxing and the articles we're publishing on the site. We'll have our interview with Upper Deck and our cosplay videos up in the next week or so. Our words of wisdom for the day. A blonde gets an opportunity to fly to a nearby country. She's never been on an airplane anywhere and was very excited and tense. As soon as she boarded the plane, a Boeing 747, which she saw as she passed the entrance, she started jumping in excitement, running over seat to seat, and shouting, "Boeing, Boeing, 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 Boeing." She sort of forgets where she is, and then the sliding door to the cockpit opens, and the pilot watches her for a minute, and then gets very annoyed. He stands up and shouts, "Be silent!" There was a pin drop silence everywhere on the plane, and everyone looked back and forth between the blonde and the angry pilot. She stared at the pilot in silence for a moment, concentrated really hard, and all of a sudden started shouting, "Oing, oing, 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 oing."
Oh,
That's so bad.
That was the
Why?
worst one yet. Like,
Oh,
that was
that's
just
so
like,
long. Because it's so long. It was so bad.
Until next week, game on!
game on.
Boo.
Come on.
Came back for that.